It's February 6, 2019, 10 o'clock a.m. I walk inside the title company to close my first wholesale deal after continuously cold calling for 9 months and getting properties under contract and then having to drop those properties because I couldn't find a buyer and it just wasn't a good deal. I walk into the title company. I meet with the buyer. I meet with the co-wholesaler. I JV the deal, $4,000. It was $8,000 in total. I get a $4,000 check. I walk out. I'm getting pictures and videos. I'm super excited, super geeked. But the next day, I have to go inside my full-time job and tell them I quit. I'm working at JD Buy Rider. So used car dealership if you're not familiar. And no, I was not on the sales floor. I was in the back. In fact, I was specifically the last spot in the back of the garage where I was cleaning out the cars. So I'm consistently cleaning out cars. I'm done with that at this point. I go in, I tell the service manager, hey, this is my last day. I'm done. February 7th, 8:35 a.m. The shift starts at 8:30. I walk in 5 minutes late. I tell them, yo, I'm done. I walk out of here feeling like a big stepper. Fast forward 5 years later, February of 2024, I'm returning to the workforce. What happened? Welcome to Get to Steppin with S2. I'm your host, S2, and we about to get to stepping. Hey. All right, so on the last episode, I caught you guys up about the backstory as far as, where we've been at and the Get to Steppin with S2 first season of the podcast. And at the end, we ended off with me explaining to you guys that I re-entered the workforce. After 5 years of doing real estate and just being an entrepreneur by myself, I re-entered the workforce. And man, when I tell you, it was some of the most humbling times of my life. As we sit, you can probably tell how I'm talking, things are different. But February, at the end of February, beginning of March, really, like the first week of March of 2024, I re-entered the workforce. I quit the sales job that which wasn't really a sales job. It was I was wholesaling real estate as a realtor down here in Tampa, Florida. I decided to quit that job. And that position, like, not to go back too much on it, but like I previously touched on, if you did not watch the last episode, it just wasn't for me. I was in a position where I'm traveling far. I'm doing a lot of things where I didn't need to do that. It wasn't hitting the same. Best part about doing it with other people was the fact that I was doing it with other like-minded individuals, and I did enjoy being in the same environment with them. But like I said, the things didn't work out, and we went our separate ways, and it was all love at the center of it. So after that happens, I go about 2-3 weeks, and I'm cold calling, and I think I mentioned to you guys at this point, I ran through my savings. I'm like, all right, maybe I can get another deal in like the next 3 or 4 weeks, right? Didn't happen. I had to find a job. So ran through my, whatever money I came down here with. Now it's like, all right, let's re-enter the workforce. What kind of job am I going to get, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, I haven't worked. Since I've been 19, I've been basically in my working years, I've been an entrepreneur longer than I've worked for someone else. So returning back to the workforce is like the last thing that I want to do, but I also was not going to put myself in the same predicament that I put myself in last time, which I explained to you guys on the last episode. So once again, check that out. I'm not going back into it. So at this point, I'm like, yo, the only thing, well, not the only thing, but like the main thing that I can do and like the main thing I really want to do is still sales. Like, I'm done with wholesaling real estate at this point. I'm completely done with it. It's giving diminishing returns on effort, right? This being said, I'm like, yo, what I'm going to do? So I go and I hit up Indeed, you know what I'm saying? I hit up LinkedIn, oddly enough. LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, all of the things that you can imagine to find a job source, I'll look into it. So I come to the realization quickly, like, all right, I want to get in a sales position. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see what other sales positions are about. I've been doing sales, being real estate wholesaling by myself since a youngin'. What is it about to actually do a different kind of sales position? I never even considered these other positions. So this is what I'm gonna walk you guys through, and I'm not going to speak too specific on the companies that I joined. Some of them I can't, you know what I'm saying, just due to things and whatever. But some of them I just don't think I need to. And some of the people may still be watching. So if y'all are tuned in, as always, you know what to do. Get to stepping. So I decided to join a B2B sales position, right? And this is in Tampa. It was an in-seat position. So now, like I said, I've been an entrepreneur for the last 5 years full time. And the way I'm celebrating, to bring it back, my 5-year anniversary, mom's hit me up like, hey, happy 5 years of full-time, being an entrepreneur. I'm so proud of you, da-da-da, XYZ. And I was so like, it was like, I appreciate her remembering and like really making it special for me. But I just was like within myself, like, damn, like 5 years later, and I'm damn near starting back at square one. So it was really like a humbling experience. It was, I wasn't proud of myself. I'll say that. I wasn't proud of myself after just coming back from, living up in my parents' house and being in that dichotomy. The last thing I wanted to do was go back to that. So I had to get a job. But at the same time, it made me look like, yo, what if I actually done over these last 5 years? Like, what if I have nothing tangible in my mind at that time to show for the 5 years that I've done. So it was kind of like, she was like, just take time to really reflect on where you've been and where you're going. Like, I appreciated her saying all these things. But like I said, in my mind, I'm just like, yo, like, what have I been doing? Like, what's been actually happening? The biggest thing that I ended up getting excited about was Steps to Success, us right here. And I'm like, yo, I'm on year 4 with this now. We started back in 2020. And I was like, year 3, April 7, 2020 is when this all started. And the first video was like in July. But that being said, though, I got really excited about this process. And I was like, no, that's dope. And I thought about everything that I've learned as far as the tangible, non-tangible things being what I've learned in my mind, all the lessons, all the ups and downs that I took, and say I won't repeat that same mistake again. So that's what I learned from those 5 years. So I was like, really, I got back to myself. It took me a couple of days, and I'm like, all right, like, I've learned some things. But now that I learned these things and wholesaling hasn't worked out, then F wholesaling, you know what I'm saying? Let's go figure out something else. So that's where I'm at. So I joined a B2B sales position, right? This B2B sales position, they got me cold calling, but now I'm cold calling other companies. Like, I'm going to tell you what the position is without telling you the company. So basically, like, what I was doing is, and this is a really unique thing. Like, I've learned so much over these last couple months. That's why we're about to run through it this episode. Returning to the workforce after 5 years, crazy, right? I ended up learning how to, the company, they were selling advertising space to other, they were selling advertising space to businesses for them to advertise on golf courses. That was the business model. It was really, it's a brilliant business model, especially when you go up the food chain, right? Meaning like the people that's up the food chain and it trickles down. So this is what I learned, like just to kind of skip a few things, right? The biggest thing that I've learned from returning to the workforce and being in sales position, the people who make the money are at the top. The guys who doing the work for them to make the money, they make the littlest amount of money, bro. It's crazy. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And like, that's why, like I said, we don't get to it, but it makes zero sense unless you're at the top. And with me coming to the workforce as someone who's already been entrepreneurial, been a business owner, and already got those visions and long-term vision in mind, I was just clocking and seeing out everything else work with all the positions that I was in. And it allowed me to add up and see, well, okay, I can do this different, I can do that different, I can do that different. But wait a minute, this is how it really worked. So I got to really see the insides of companies, which has been dope. All right, that being said, go back. I'm at this company. I'm selling advertising space. The best part about the company, you got like a cash bonus. So like once you made a sale, like, it's one call close kind of thing, right? So it's a one call close. Once you make a sale, you get like a cash bonus. And that cash bonus varied. It was like anywhere from $30 to about $50 per one close you got. I went a few days, like my first week, I ended up getting a sale. My first week, I got like one sale. Like the next 2 weeks, I got like another 6 or 7. Long story short, I was like getting like $100 on top of the actual base pay, which was, I can't even remember what the base pay was, yo. It wasn't a lot. Let's just say that it wasn't a lot at all. But it got the bills paid, and that's the main reason why I was doing it. Got the bills paid. But it was like the bills were paid, and then like I got like I'm eating canned food. Like it was bad. So that being said, I end up closing a lot of deals over those 2 weeks. The people, and they're like, wow, like you're really good. You know what I'm saying? They really like excited about, excited about the potential that they saw for me in the business and the company. That's kind of like a theme that you want to see. So I'm just like, yeah, like that's dope. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, like my second week there, I'm like, yo, this is done. I'm not doing this. Like, this ain't for me. Like, hey, yo, hey, this is 𝐷'Angelo. Did I catch you at a bad time? Like, did I catch you at a bad time? Like, that's literally what I was on. I'm back on my wholesaling tip, right? So, me being back on my wholesaling bag, I'm at the point where it's like, yo, like, I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm completely reliant on this business, this company to pay me, right? So go back a little bit. I joined with 3 or 4 people. The first day, one person quit. 2 days later, that second person quit. So there's only 2 people left from my class. So, excuse me. So I'm at a position like, yo, I'm not about to like put myself in this position where I'm not liking this thing, and like I'm at a point where I gotta keep doing it just to get the bills paid. I need to work my way out of this, is what I'm basically saying. I gotta work my way out of this. This isn't working. So I ended up getting some opportunities with wholesaling. Some people just called me back, and I was trying to like really incorporate my cold calling schedule within it, but it really got to be too much, being transparent, because I was cold calling. This is why, like, anybody that's been on the phone or you're working on the phones, doing wholesale is going to be challenging for you, right? Because like back in the day, I was working before work and after work, but I was a car detailer. So I'm cleaning cars and listening to audiobooks like while I'm cleaning cars throughout my day. Versus once I got into this side of things, I'm on a sales position. So I'm on a phone from 8:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. This was a Monday through Friday, no weekends. 8:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. One of my like bonuses was like $350, which was dope. But like I just started calculating all the numbers. So that's just something I threw in there. What I'm saying is it's a comfortable position. The guy who was training me, he said he earned like $100K. He was like, I earn, I get $100K easily every year. You know, telling me about his houses and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, that's dope. But like, mind you, the biggest thing, just being transparent, was me having to let go of my ego of being like, yo, I've earned $100K when I was 23. You're talking to me about earning $100K, sitting down, coming into the office, and like you're X age, you're way older than me, and you're like excited about it, which is dope. But at the same time, it's like I did it then, but at the same time, I had to humble myself. Like, boy, you ain't doing it right now. So relax. You ain't doing it right now, mama. So relax. So that's when I humbled myself. I'm like, all right, I'm about to really get to this bag, right? So I was really all in for like 2 weeks, and then after that, a wholesaling opportunity came. I was following up with that. I ended up closing that deal, put a little bit extra money in my pocket, but ultimately, I just was done with that job, so I quit the job. I was there for like 3.5 weeks. Like, I didn't put it on my resume, and that was crazy. Making a resume, just real quick. Yo, making a resume after being an entrepreneur for so long, it's like, it's one of those things where you like, bruh, like, you know, I'm a real person. Like, I'm not a corporate individual. Like, I didn't graduate school. I'm not a academic person. Like, I'm a real guy. Like, I'm like, how I'm talking to y'all right now is how I was talking to people in interviews, and how I was talking to people on my resume, and like how I was talking to people in general. Like, I don't put on no extra layers of anything, right? That being said, it was crazy just making a resume and doing all that. This job, I want to thank them, and especially you if you watching this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. I know, you know what I'm saying? You might be still tuned in, so shout out to you. So that being said, they gave me an opportunity without, you know, me having any other experience besides the experience that I put on my resume, which was, you know, my company. And we'll get into the company and all that later as far as the name and everything. But basically, my company was on there, and like that was basically it. So basically, it's really word of mouth, and then I put my YouTube channel on there as well. So me having that on my resume, that's, you know, I got hired. I quit the job. They were like, yo, if you want, shout out to you. She was like, if you want to just quit and like come back next week, we can just hire you for the next class. Like, you're fine. Just hire you. I was like, yo, I really appreciate that. But like, I'm good. Like, I'm done with it. And like I said, shout out. She was a real cool person. Shout out to you. So that being said, me and her, you know what I'm saying, we stayed in contact, and then I quit the job, and that was basically it. I got my last check, and that was it, right? So mind you, I told you I closed the wholesale deal. So during that time, I'm like, yo, like I got a, you know what I'm saying, got some money in my pocket again. It's nothing major, but enough for me to be like, can I do this? You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I spent like another week or two. I still looked for like putting resumes out there, but mainly I was just on some like, I'm about to be wholesaling, but like, let me just put some stuff out there. So long story short, I had some wholesale deals. They didn't line up, whatever. Still had those resumes that I was putting out there. So I started going on more interviews. So now this is the end of March, like beginning mid-April, right? So beginning mid-April, I was there, like I said, that company like 3 weeks. So yeah, this is beginning to mid-April 2024 this year. So I put myself in a position where I'm like, yo, like, you know, hit up Indeed. What am I going to do again? But this time I brought in my spectrum. I'm like, all right, I want to do sales because, what else is out there with sales? I'm kind of done with wholesaling. I really wasn't committed to the process, but I was still doing it, right? So this being said, hold on, Big Steppers. I got this text I had to respond to. Oh, yes. All right. So I'm like, I'm not doing this from the standpoint of wholesaling is cool, but like if the money come in, then great. But I'm still not fully. My heart's not in it, right? I know I've done wholesaling enough to know when my heart's in it and when it wasn't. It was mainly my days was spent kind of moping around and being like, do I really have to? Do I really have to do this right now? Like, do I really have to? That's what I'm thinking about, right? So I was really like over it. I was so over it. But at the same time, I was like, all right, I can't go back to what I just came from. Got to get to stepping. Get to stepping means so many different things, and we'll talk about that. But I got to get to stepping. Get to stepping, stay in motion, right? I'm not wholesaling. My house, I'm just roaming around my house, roaming around the neighborhood. Like I'm not motivated. So let me go and put myself in a position where I could be motivated. Now I'm taking job interviews. One job, I had my Indeed resume open, and then they called me, and then it was something in a different industry, right? It was like a transportation kind of thing, and I'm like, yo, I'm not doing no transport. Like I'm good with this, right? Like they called me, reached out. I'm like, I'm good with this. I appreciate you reaching out. I ended up taking interviews at FedEx, and then there was another position that was called it was FedEx and what's the name of this other position? It's called it was FedEx. I was on the delivery port, and then it was a healthcare position. But the healthcare position was me being outside, basically if you at an event and you see somebody in a white tent and yo, you got healthcare, that type stuff, right? So I'm I was considering it, but it was they were trying to pay me $200, $200 a week for the first 3 or 4 weeks, and then after that you got paid on a percentage or $20 for every person you got signed up. I'm just I'm not about to be standing in no hot sun. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I liked wholesaling was because the reason why I liked wholesaling the way I built it is because it's virtual. It's completely remote. So I just pay somebody to go out and look at the property or have somebody go look at it. And I'm not the person that's going out there and doing it. It's been like that since 2020 when I decided to move to Arizona from Cincinnati, right? So that being said, like I said, guys, you want to go back to the journey, I can dive so deep into it, but it's pointless. Everything is up on the channel. Just go back to April 2020 and you'll see the journey. All right. So that being said, and just to touch on that, the biggest thing that you'll see within the journey is that I started off this whole thing by teaching you guys, having a subject or a theme of a video, then teaching you guys about the video. With Get to Steppin with S2 podcast, I wanted it to become where you guys are seeing me do what I was teaching you about for the last 3 years. So then it was all right, you guys can actually see me do it versus me just telling you that I did it. And then on top of that, it was the idea of exposing you guys to it through other means is when we decided to make the split between Steps to Success and S to the Heart. S to the Heart right here. Steps to Success is that you see other people's stories and you can decide to love those stories and love Steps to Success or just and vice versa. So it just opens up the bandwidth for you guys to discover us, and then also for you guys to ultimately just get more stories of success beyond my life. All right, so let's dive back into it. So put myself in a position where I'm at either the FedEx spot or I'm at the FedEx or the healthcare thing. Just to cut a long story short, I signed up for the healthcare. I was literally about to do it. I was about to do it, 100%. I signed up for everything. Because I wasn't trying to do the FedEx. It was a physical labor. I'm yo, let me do something in sales. They had these were salespeople selling me a sales position job when it came to the healthcare. So like I said, these are salespeople. They were selling me the job. They did a great job at it. But this being said, y'all gotta get some water. Okay. So these are salespeople selling me a sales position job. I'll bid for it. I was ready. I was all in. Talked to some close family members. They were yo, why would you do that? You want to be getting paid $800 a month guaranteed, and then your whole idea was to find guaranteed money. Why would you do that? You might as well do the FedEx. So I was about to do FedEx, but remember that first job I told y'all about? They called me after I put my Indeed resume. I had it like public, so they had called me and they offered me to like basically like, yo, you can come in an interview. Like we hire people every 2 weeks, and I'm like, nah. I ended up calling them back. I'm like, yo, is that is that still available? It don't sound so bad after all. So after me seeing what everybody else had to offer, that other position didn't sound so bad. But this is a whole new position in transportation stuff. So I'm like, let me see what it's about. So I hit them up. You know what I'm saying? They, I declined the other job. I declined the FedEx job as well. And I hit them up. You know what I'm saying? So this is like mid-April I hit them up. Mid-April, I end up putting myself in a position where they had to interview me. So I go on the interview, and I meet with the so now I got to tread lightly here. I meet with the manager and the co-manager. So I meet with the manager, co-manager. They grilling me with all kind of questions. I'm like, yo, like, well, this is kind of getting personal. But it was really cool vibes, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, like I said, I'm a real person. I talk like I'm talking to y'all like right here. I'm chopping it up with them the same way. Cool guy. One guy a little bit, like dang near the same age as me. Then one guy's, older gentleman. This being said, though, I end up vibing with, I wasn't sure if it was a vibe or not, but like I called my, family. I'm like, yo, this could be something like, this is something new, like something completely new, something I've never done before. Like I really can see myself, doing this after they broke everything down to me and explained how it went. So I'm like, I probably can see myself like really tapping into and doing this. So like they called me back like a couple days later, like, yo, you got the job. You're going to start in like the next week and a half. I'm like, all right, bet. So mind you, to this point, I had one other job, which was the B2B sales position. This one was it's like wholesaling, but in transportation. I'll just say that. So it's like you're being you're wholesaling. So that being said, I was applying that same experience, but it's a whole different industry. So I was looking forward to learning something new, and I had to travel to it, but it was closer. And to double back to like what I said in the first episode, I was getting paid to be there, right? So I was getting paid on top of commission. So I'm like, bet. Only caveat is like I have to do basically almost 6 months for where I wasn't getting commission, but I still was getting my base pay. But during that 6 months, I was basically working under someone else to learn the industry and learn how to do the ins and outs, right? So during this time, I'm working under somebody else, and like, so there's two things I want to talk about here, right? Thing one is that the main thing why I like this place is because from that last place that I came to, they had, unlike the other place, they had company culture. They actually had a culture where like you're actually doing stuff with people and interacting. That other place, they making bread and they're kind of just like, they exploiting you and don't care. Like they don't care they're exploiting you, bro. Like you're going to sit down, you're going to make these calls, you're not getting up. You got 2 breaks throughout the day. You're going to sit down, you're going to call. People were quitting left and right over there. No company culture. There are no company events. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't go nowhere. They didn't want to bring no ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Could have brought me a donut, something, you know what I'm saying? But nah, they ain't do none of that. So that being said, this other place, completely different. They had company culture. The people that I'm working around. As soon as I went in there, instant vibe. I started with like 2 or 3 other gentlemen. One guy quit the same day. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Like, it's a sales position, whatever. And then I go and I'm sitting, you know what I'm saying, in this area, and I meet like, I end up making some great connections is what I'll say, right? It got to the point where I was looking forward to going to work, not because of work that I was doing, because of the people that I was doing it with. And it was the idea of just going there like and just chopping it up with them. Like I said, one guy quit, 3 of them. There was 3 of us, and they're still there. They're still doing great things. I ended up leaving. So the 2 out of the 4 or whatever. This being said, though, I end up at this point, I'm excited to go to work just because I'm about to be chilling with my guys, like, and just talking and just vibing. And of course, you go do some work, and the work was very simple at that point because it was very much just me simply picking up the phone. Oh my! I got a wholesale deal calling me right now, Big Steppers. I got a wholesale deal calling me right now. Let's see what's up. Hold up. Hey, and how's it going? Hello. How's it going? Great. Yes, sir. Yeah. Now it's not it's all right time. I basically just want to shoot that off. So yes, sir. We were at 75,000 on it, and we got to be closed out within the next 30 days. Okay. Where would you be at on that then?
About 125.
125.
Remember, that's an M3 zoning, and it can be used for anything.
Mm-hmm.
The house is rented.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a $700 income.
Right.
Or no, correction, $675 income.
Okay.
Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 75. Nah.
Okay.
I just got done putting 19.5 in garage doors on that garage.
Okay. And then I was gonna say as well. So the garage was that? Okay.
And I lied to you.
Hmm?
I said 19.9, 10.9. I just got done putting garage doors on.
Oh, okay.
A buddy of mine did it for me.
Got you.
Some of the like overhead garage doors and so forth.
Right.
It was up to about 15 something.
Right. I got you. Okay.
And when I said 19.9, that ain't right.
Mm.
Overhead garage doors is 15 something.
Mm.
And so I lied to you there.
No, you're good. You're good. No sweat, my man. Okay. Let me talk to the team here, and I'll get back to you. Are you available tomorrow to talk about it?
If you want to call me about 11:15.
Okay. 11:15 tomorrow. I'll give you a call.
Checking anything they need for the next startup.
Right.
And right now, everything's been passed on me because my wife's in Florida.
Okay.
I'm not trying to push anything on him.
Mm-hmm.
But then he has a landscape business, a stuff grinding business, and
Right.
correction, he's got 5 businesses.
Mm.
He's counting the farm.
Right. That boy working. That's what's up.
That's no big deal.
That's what's up.
But basically, if you want to call me between, say, 11 and 11:30,
Mm-hmm.
I should, if I fail to answer, send me a text.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. I appreciate your time, my man. I'll speak with you tomorrow between 11 and 11:30. You have a good evening.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye. I think y'all can tell how how life is moving for me now, bro. And it's like I'm back on that. I'm back on that type of time. But let's talk about how it all connected, right? So being said though, put myself in a position where kind of lost it. Put myself in a position where now I'm at this company and I'm having a good time with these guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a good time. It kind of goes back into that, what I explained to you guys earlier. I was put in a position where now I actually just want to just have people that I'm just kicking it with from the standpoint of having more fun with my work, right? Anytime I work and if I'm working around people, like, and we're in this together, then like, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get to stepping together. Point blank simple. There's nothing else to say. Some of my best friendships and relationships have always formed over a common interest. Everybody stepping towards the same goal. This was different. Everybody had their own mission, but we all had the same, you know what I'm saying, thought process. And also one guy's like, if you start watching this, big shout out to you, bro. We ended up connecting on the book, The Alchemist. And he was like, bro, like he basically was an entrepreneur his whole life. And then we ended up colliding at that same point. We started together. Starting at that job. He was like, I just look at it like I'm at the crystal shop right now. And if you're familiar with The Alchemist, you know what I'm talking about. He's like, I'm at the crystal shop right now. I'm about to see what I can learn here. I'm about to build this up and, you know, see what I can do. And I'm going to get to stepping, or he didn't say to stepping, but I'm going to go start doing, you know what I'm saying, what I've been doing and having my money how I got it, right? So I could relate to that so much. So it put a battery in my back with everything I was doing. Overall, the company was cool. One thing I did not like, and I'll just be, you know, flat out, I had put like, they had like an idea board, which I thought, like I said, the culture itself was so dope. They have like an idea board, right? So the idea board, it allows you to like put up ideas and stuff. Long story short, I put up an idea about how I can take my creative experience and help the company out regarding recruiting. I'll just put it right there. Long story short, nobody responded to me, bro. So like, forget them for that. Like, I ain't gonna cap. Like, when that day happened, as weeks progressed, I'm like, they just not gonna say. I'm gonna be up out of here. I'm gonna be up out of here. You gotta understand, my creative side means way more to me than my sales side, even though people admire my sales persistence and grind. So that being said, once that day happened, once I did that and nobody ever said anything, I just was like, yo, it's only a matter of time. So to step back a bit though, I was like the last week of April. About 4 or 5 days I'm kicking it with the guys. On like the second day, they was like, yo, we be playing basketball after work. Like we be all like getting together on Tuesdays. Like we should come sometime. I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, all right, bet. And this time I was like, transitional period. I had been meaning to get some more shoes, some more workout shoes. I hadn't gotten any, right? I hadn't got any workout shoes. Therefore, I was like, no, I'm going to hold off on it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Some new basketball shoes. I'm going to hold off on it. I ended up going in next week. I'm going to make a long story short. This ain't what this video about. I played basketball with the guys. Like I said, that was the best part. It was the guys themselves. I've been talking to my family, like, man, I want to just meet some guys and, like, play basketball. Like, I just want to have, like, some people to kick it with. Like, that's just what I want. So I ended up doing that. And, man, long story short, bro, I go for a rebound. I freaking tear my Achilles, full rupture. This is, like, within a week of me starting this new job. So now I'm like, yo, so I make a long story short. Full rupture, Achilles tear. It happened on May 7th. I got surgery on, like, a couple days after. It took me like I was out of work for like 2 weeks. The job, the company, everybody, the people that were very supportive throughout that process, I was really appreciative. This is before anything else as far as me putting on the board and anything like that. I was really appreciative, and like I said, that's basically what happened. And it took me some time just to figure out, yo, like, what the hell. So now I can walk a little bit, but like, just 2 weeks ago, I was still on a knee scooter, 2-3 weeks. I was just on a knee scooter 2-3 weeks ago. Like now I'm just now being able to really walk and jump. I can do lunges. So I'm getting better. I haven't been able to run for like since May. That took a real toll on my mental health. And also, you know, fitness is something that if you guys watched the transition, you saw I was really in my fitness bag. And also how that last episode ended. I was really in my fitness bag, so I really started incorporating the Get to Steppin with S2 fitness thing, fitness like vlogs inside of the podcast. Anyway, that's why I've just been quiet over these last few months because that really bothered me so much. The fact I just hadn't been able to like get to stepping, like that's what I'm about, bro. I get up and I work out. I have my whole routine. That threw me off so much, just mentally, physically, of course. I'm getting back in shape. I'm getting back in motion. So this is still very fresh. So I ain't about to talk too much about it. That being said, that was it. So after I ended up going back to the job, I ended up like having to leave again because I was in a position where I just feel like I came back too fast. I was sitting down most of the day. I just was sitting. That's all I've been doing, eating, freaking sitting down. I developed a bad drinking habit. Like stuff got bad for me, bro. It's been a dark few months. This is what I'm saying. Like I told you I was gonna catch up on dark times, bro. It's been dark out here. Like it's really just now starting to loosen up for a G. So, and like I drink a little bit, but I'm not a big drinker. I got a cabinet still, like my whole cabinet just full with freaking tequila and a little bit of whiskey and a little bumpy face. Mainly tequila though. That's my thing. So anyway, so I just was drinking a lot, you know what I'm saying, smoking, drinking, and then I was on those pills for a little second. Like, I got up off the pills, but drinking and smoking while you're on them pills, like, bro, you just be, it's not, I mean, you be out of this world, but it ain't a good thing, bro. So, stuff got bad for me, I'll just say that. So, months, but the highlight, again, to focal back on everything was the people. That time of me getting injured, and I also, to rewind back, one of the guys that I started with when he first started, he injured his Achilles, and his left one or his right one was injured. It was my left, so that was crazy as I started healing. But I thankfully had a cool group of guys just to kick it with, talk with, and we will go out and just go out. And I was out in the club on my knee scooter, bro. Like I really was out. Some of y'all watching this, I probably met you on my knee scooter, no cap. So like I'm stepping and getting down. So what's up? But that being said, me being in that position where I'm now at a place where, you know, I'm no longer anything who I imagine myself to be, because just from the standpoint of I've already was an entrepreneur, but now fitness is taken away. So that really hurt. Now I just spent time, man, and I was at this job and everything was cool. They had like this period of basically, like I said, you would have to be working up under somebody else. Things started to switch over and started to switch back into a more serious side of things, where like now it's ramping up expectations and all that, like no longer at the beginning. And I just really came within myself, like, and I guess I'll back up just a tad bit. I was getting tired with the process. As I started to heal, I started, like, my mind now is like out of the, like, let me just, like, bro, it took me like 15 minutes to get down the steps. Like, wake up in the morning, like, everything took so long. So, like, how do I even start thinking about how do I be an entrepreneur again? Like, I wasn't even mentally able to even wrap that around. So I spent like 2-3 months just going through the motion, waking up and just going to that job, and just waking up, going to that job, coming back, I'm drinking, smoking. That was like where that kind of mode set in at. And I'm going out more. I'm doing all these things. And like, if you guys are anything familiar with the journey and any familiar with who I am as a person, I go out when I have things to celebrate. I usually do not go out just when, just for the sake of like going out. But that being said, I try to, this within this past year, as far as me making friendships and connections, I've been trying to just enjoy my life more, being in my mid-20s, right? And also that's been actually a great thing, because I've been having more things to celebrate as I've just been enjoying my life more. All right, so to kind of to really back in. So I get to the point at the job where they're like, expectations are ramping up. It was funny because when I first started the position, like I said, the manager, he was like, yo, you were making this amount of money when you were 22, 23. Well, why didn't you just spend more time cold calling? Like, why didn't you just do that? Because you'd be like, why even work for us? Like, what are you doing? So I'm like, bro, like, it sounds way easier than it is. Like, it sounds way easier. I've tried putting teams together, people together. It gets draining, da-da-da-da. He's like, I feel you. But ironically enough, that hit home so much with my decision that I ended up making at the end of the stay, right? So it's July, I'll say. About the end of June to the beginning of July, I ended up like going back up to the city or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Some stuff, I can't take too much. So that being said, I put myself in a mindset where I'm like, yo, I'm about to be in a position where I don't like this industry that I'm in. I don't like this industry. I don't like it. Not for me. I don't like the binds of the company. And just to explain to you, like I said, I got to break down a little bit of these sales tactics as far as the company to their employees and team members, because that's what I look at. I'm always looking at big picture. I'm looking at who's doing it at the top and why are they doing it that way at the top. So the way that they did it over there is, I'll make a long story short. So the way they did it is that these people that's working for this company, they have the opportunity to get a commission. However, they don't even become eligible to get a commission, right? Because remember, this is commission plus base, or base plus salary. Base plus commission is what I'm saying. Salary plus commission. It's salary position at that. So salary plus commission. They don't have an opportunity to get commission until they cover their seat. Meaning, until they earn enough money to pay back their salary, monthly salary, you're not getting any money. Even if you made money, it's going right to the company. And now, rewind back. Now, if you guys familiar with me, you know that I've been hip as far as like the music industry. I understand the music industry. With my understanding of the music industry, I realized like, yo, this is like how, like, this is like labels with like, but it's like in corporate world. Like, this is like how a label does an artist, but it's in a corporate world, bro. This is crazy. You're going to work. You're not even going to get the full commission that you earn as far as like the payback that earn your seat, your salary. We're only going to give you a percentage of that. We're only going to give you a small percentage. I'll just say a small percentage. I won't even get into specifics. You get a small percentage of 100%, and that small percentage first goes to covering your salary. And then after you cover your salary, you're eligible to get commission, and it's still a small percentage of everything that you earn. So this is a result. You have employees working dang near 12 hours a day, and they're earning $70K, $60K. And I say it in that voice because you guys heard me on the last episode when I said my worst year in wholesaling was 2 years ago, and I earned $65,000. That was my worst year. And I wasn't having to be in one place for 12 hours and like all these crazy expectations and all. That being said right there, you see why I made my decision. All right. So that's the reason why, as far as me leaving there, like I said, it was, I'm seeing these people. I'm seeing all these, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say like these people. I can't say everything, so I got to say the words, but I'm going to say steppers. I'll just say steppers. I'm seeing all these steppers. They're earning money, you know what I'm saying? They're doing all this, but like, they would call people out like on Fridays or something like that, right? And like they have like, let's just say somebody made the company $100,000. You're taking like not even half of that home. Like you're not even taking half of $100K that you rightfully earned. Spent 12 hours working at this job, and you're not even taking half of that home. Let alone if you were to leave that company, everything that you've earned being business-wise stays with the company. Bruh, like I'm a real stepper, bro. Like everything started to really add up to me, and like I just was like, nah. But like I'm one of them guys, like I'm a genuine person. Like when I mean I'm a genuine person, it means like if I see something that isn't successful to me or something I don't deem to be excited about, I won't rain on your parade. I won't tell you not to do it. I won't not clap for you because you're excited. I'm the type of person where like if I mess with you, I'm just excited that you're excited. Whatever made you excited is secondary than the fact that you're excited. So I was able to still cultivate good relationships at the place and still kick it with everybody, even though mentally I was already checked out. But so now I got to the position where I'm clocking stuff. I'm like, yo, I'm out of here. Like it's about to happen. Especially like I said, when I got that, they didn't respond back to my I put on a board, it was a creative thing, right? And they left me on red. And that's the part that really hit me up. Like, bro, I just messaged you, you gonna leave me on red? You seen me message you, gonna leave me on red? You don't really know who I am. Like, I'm really one of them guys. Like, you really sleeping on me right now. And when I say I'm one of them ones, it's like, my background was different, but I'm also the kind of person where I don't need to talk about everything that I do, especially if I just meet somebody. If I meet somebody in person, I won't even talk about myself. Like, you're going to talk about yourself way more than I ever talk about myself. Once I start talking about myself, it's because we've already done kicked it. We've already done it so much before I ever really start talking about myself. Mainly because there's so much I could talk about with myself, bro. I do a lot in a day, like real estate and my creative side, and also with music. Like, if we want to talk about something, we can really talk. But like I said, Shorty really, she left me on red, and I was really like salty about that. So I ended up being in a position where, like I said, I'm excited for all my guys and stuff, but I'm clocking like this don't add up. I think I just mentioned, like I said, it was like people that were working there 12 hours a day, they're earning like 60, 70K. And like I've earned that years ago. Now, mind you, that was my worst year in business. And also, I'm humble. Like I said, I wasn't earning that at the moment. Right now, I'm learning a whole new industry. Let me be humble. Let me learn. Let me sit back. Let me peep the scene. Now that I don't want to do it, I'm like, yo, I'm doing a bare minimum. So like I said, I was giving 70, 80%, and my 70, 80% is different than somebody else's 100%. So I still was meeting all the KPIs, if you will. Once stuff started heating up, I'm like, yo, I'm not doing this. I'm really out of here. Like, I'm really out of here. Now let me put the plan in motion. So as I said, I was only going there because I was excited about seeing my guys in the corner. There was a seating arrangement that took place. They moved seats. Like, we in down. That's another thing, bro. Like, bro, it felt like high school or something. But it was high school in good ways, too, though. Like, high school because I was able to, like, get up and stop working and just go chat with some niggas and do some fun stuff. They were really laid back on stuff. But also high school in other ways where, like, you got to sit and, like, be at a seat and, like, you're at a cubicle. And, like, bro, it's not me. That's not me. So what the manager said started hitting home. When he was like, yo, why are you even going to do this? Like, if you did that by yourself, now why not just put more time in on the phone and just start doing that? That stuff started to hit home so much, especially once I started doing all the numbers. And like I said, they make you pay to be there, cover your own salary, not at 100%. It's like literally like record label tactics. It's like a record label. They give you an advance, and now you're collecting at a 20% basis. You're not collecting at 100%. You're collecting at 20% basis. It's dang near the same thing. So for being like a record label and me looking at it and me already having a study, I'm like, yo, this don't shake up. No, this don't make sense. I gotta get up out of here. So now, how do I get up out of there? Like I said, bro, what he started saying started ringing in my mind. But I'm like, do I really want to go back to doing wholesaling the way I've been doing it? I'm here, I'm on the phone all day. I really don't feel like doing this, but let me stick with my follow-ups. So I'm sticking with my follow-ups, you know what I'm saying? I have some people I've just been following up with. But I'm like, yo, on top of following up, what if I had a position, a real estate sales position inside of a real estate company, but it's base pay, salary, plus commission? Duh, I might as well do that. I take everything that I loved about wholesaling real estate. So then I had to sit back and think, like, what do I love about wholesaling real estate? My favorite part about it is the acquisition side of it. I can sell properties. I have pocket relationships that I do it with, but I have more fun on the acquisition side of it. And then I have fun when I receive a check. To actually sell the property, that side of it to me only takes away from me getting more properties. But when you're doing it by yourself, with the problem with wholesaling is like you're doing two jobs at once. And then sometimes if you got so many properties on the contract, you got to get them sold. So now you got to work hella hard to get them sold. And then if you're working with somebody where you're not necessarily priority to what they have going on in their own business, then you're like, you can't really trust that they're going to pull it through. So then you got to really go in and do it. So that's where I was like, in wholesaling, shit became like that for me. Stuff came like that. So a few times. So I'm like, yo, I don't really know, like, as far as doing it right now, like, what else can I do? So that's when I started checking out other companies or whatever. So to my surprise, there's a such thing as, real estate wholesaling acquisition jobs. I never knew that. 5 years of wholesaling, because I never looked for a wholesaling real estate job. I never looked for it. So I looked for it. Stuff popped up. I end up seeing that they have a position where you're able to put yourself. They got a position where you're able to put yourself in the acquisitions role, and you're getting basically a base pay. They were ranging anywhere from $24,000 to $36,000. So there was like $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month, or $3,000 a month. Or one job was like $4,000 a month for the first 2 months, and then dropped down to $2,000. Excuse me. To back up a bit though, before I started applying to the real estate acquisition jobs through Indeed and all the other places, I ended up applying to my creative side. I ended up applying to marketing jobs, creative director jobs, marketing, creative director, social media manager, social content creator, all these different jobs using steps to success as my portfolio, if you will. Me doing that, I put about 200 applications out there. I ended up applying or signing up, paid to sign up to another software. It's like Team Express or something like that. Team Online Express. You got to pay like $65 and then $5 a month for your profile to be at the top of the employer list of other profiles, other resumes. This was all in the idea of me being able to be in a professional company, for me being able to be in a company of, for me being able to be in a sports organization, a professional sports organization, so NFL, NBA, all these kind of teams, right? NHL, NBL, all these things, even soccer. So I started applying to them, and I'm applying, like I said, easily 200, could have been 250. The Bengals had a position open. Guys, I was so hyped. I ain't gonna lie to you. You see the smile on my face? I got so geeked, bro. Like, Bengals had like 5 positions open. I applied to all of them multiple times. Ended up befriending people on LinkedIn, messaging people. I was really annoying throughout the process. They said no, but it's okay. I ain't gonna lie, I was salty, but I was actually thankful for the guy, the creative director at the Bengals. If you just look him up. So cool dude. What I'll say cool dude because he got back to me. I've never talked to the guy in my life, but he got back to me from the standpoint of like declining my resume. I applied to other positions in the Bengals. They just closed them. I applied to a lot of other positions. The only one I got an interview for was like basically like the healthcare position, but it was for T-Mobile. And I'm like, but this ain't no marketing, but like, they're really trying to, like, but come on, no, don't disrespect me. No, I'm not doing this. So I kind of ignored them. Actually, I told them no. They kept calling me though, so that was annoying. That being said, though, I was really like humbled during that time, only because like creative side of myself is something that I really want to do and want to get paid to do. Ironically enough, before that, I wasn't monetized. I got monetized. We got monetized in July, mid-July. So around the time I got monetized, I actually just stopped applying for creative positions, and I switched over into the real estate acquisition side of things, right? So I guess like I said, I had to redo my resume, and like I guess they just didn't like me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I was salty, bro. I was really salty. Like I done applied to over 250 like 200 jobs at least. Ain't nobody gonna get back to me. At least bring me on an interview. At least an interview. I knew I was worthy, but it's cool though, because like what I've noticed, every no, shout out to Russ, every no is just a yes, and the yes is to yourself, a yes to get back to yourself. I received so many no's, so many unanswers over these last 3 or 4 months that the only logical answer was that the yes was within me. The yes was right here. The yes is this. The yes is what you guys saw on the phone. The yes is that. The yes is this. The yes is, the yes is that. That's the yes. All the no's, they were there for a reason. So me coming to terms with that, because I'm able to talk like that now, but in the middle of it, I was really just like, yo, like, I feel crazy. I done told my mom, like, yo, I'm about to get hired by the Bengals. Like, she's like, for real? Like, yeah, I'm about to get hired. I was super geek, bro. Like, but it doesn't matter. Like, we'll have our own wing at the Bengals, right? We're going to have our own wing. We'll drop some money on the Bengals, have a whole sponsorship, whole thing. It's happening. It's happening. I'm excited. That being said, after receiving all those no's, I came to the realization, if you will, that it's better if I apply my expertise in the real estate field and also being able to separate what I do best. Like I said, acquisition side is what gets me excited. Dispositions is like, I think of dispositions is I have to take away time from acquisitions to get these damn properties. So, like, I wish it just gets sold, right? And then that's why, like, my dispositions process typically is like, I'm getting better now, but my disposition process is like I got a lot of pocket buyers that I've done business with, that I've sold deals over the last 5 years. That I just be hitting them up like, yo, like, you still, like, I just hit them up with a call like, yo, and then like 20, or I say like a solid 10 that's I know buys. They say no, that I'm kind of like, damn, is this even a good deal? Like, damn, like, whatever. And then, like, the aspect, like I said, send it off to other people, but then sometimes, like, a lot of times my guys, they get back to me, but then sometimes they got stuff going on in their own life and their own business, where at the end of the day, I don't blame you. Like, you want to put yourself first. That's just what everybody does, so it's nothing personal. But I peep game, though. So that being said, I'm like, yo, let me apply to this. Let me get this acquisitions job. You got $2,000, $2,500, and $3,000 are the different tiers. And then plus your commission on top of that, it ranged from like 3% to like 6% with the base being included. If you wanted to go full commission, it was like 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 15, none higher than like 17%. I ended up applying to probably about 50, I'll say 30 wholesale real estate acquisitions. I say 20 to 30 actually. No, it wasn't 50, not at all, because there's not even that many of them available. So 20 to 30 acquisition jobs. I got 4 interviews. One of the interviews I got like almost as soon as I applied, I was super geek. Like, yo, real estate calling me back. This is what I was meant to do. This is what I was meant to be. Forget all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm back in real estate. So I was super geeked on that. I went on 4 interviews. And then I got to the last round, like, of the interviews with 2 of them. One of them, I just knew I damn near had the position. I met with both of the owners. Everything was cool. And then I had some questions to ask as far as the specifics of the position. Theirs was like, you start at $4,000, and then they would, this was a disposition side, ironically enough. I was going to do the disposition side. And it was crazy because I applied with my resume that was focused on the creative end. I ended up redoing it and focused my resume on like the real estate end. This resume that I applied to them with was on the creative end, but they still called me back like dang near like right away. I answered, I got on the interview. Interviews went great, and then I sent like a follow-up, like just to get more details as far as like what's to be expected throughout your day. And this was a dispositions position. I still would have been great at it because wholesale and real estate in general is 2 different sides. And ironically enough, when I was at the Mitchell Dean Realty, that taught me so much about dispositions that I still implement to this day, which is why I really gotten way better on my disposition side of it, as far as just with building the relationship with them, and also keeping the data better, right? So you're just getting better as far as I don't need to go deep in that. But I picked up a lot of things from that time. So that being said, for them to come back and to say, they basically said, no, we're going with somebody else, basically, right? I was like, sorry, because I got, damn, I thought I had that one. And theirs was dope. It was like 4% or $4,000 base, and then you was going to get like 5% commission on all of the sales. And then the idea was for whoever that role was to be the top disposition person. So when there's other people that come around, then you're getting, their money as well, but then you're also managing them. Like I said, I thought I really had a position. I was like almost certain I had it, bro. But shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? They declined me like 2 days later, so that was cool. You know what I'm saying? I say it was cool because they got back to me. So then we fast forward to another one. I went on like a first interview. It was cool. Rewind back. The next one that I went on, it was a company who was in Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, and then like Tampa and Jacksonville and Orlando. And they were wholesaling. So I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, they're around my area, whatever. So they ended up calling me back. I ended up going through 3 rounds of interviews with them. I got to the second person, which was the co-owner. They were like, look, my biggest concern with you is that, when someone basically is trying to teach an old dog new tricks. You're 26. You've been doing this for 5-6 years by yourself. Like, it's concerning to really try to teach you something else, which is like, there's 2 thought processes with that, right? Because I picked that up with a lot of people that I ended up interviewing with, that ultimately being, in my mind, like, probably why I didn't get called back. Which sucks, man, because I really was like, in that moment in time, I really was like wanting that. Like, I was really salty. Like, I'm talking like July to like end of July. Like, so let's say like beginning to end of July. And I'm doing all these interviews on my lunch break at the job. I'm doing all kind of interviews on lunch break. I'm taking like hour and a half lunch breaks, bro. I'm doing like 30-minute, hour interviews, getting food. I'm at this point, I'm big chilling. I'm all that. You know what I'm saying? It's big chilling. So I end up going on the interviews, and the part that made me salty is like, I know how good I am. I know I'm really one of the ones when it comes to this wholesale and real estate, when it comes to sales, and when it comes to entrepreneurship in general. Everybody was treating me like I was a scrub, bro. Like, I was like some washed up has-been, and I did not like that feeling, bro. Like, not at all. Like, I really was like, because like I was humbling from the standpoint of like, yo, I'm willing to learn something new. I know I got to pass. What I did before didn't work. I'm open to learn stuff new. Why didn't this work? What could you done differently? Like, but I had no problem with answering any of those questions. It just was like, I'm big on nonverbal cues. It's kind of like one of my, I'm really good at nonverbal cues. I'll just say that. So like I said, some people just trying to like play me like I was a scrub or whatever. But I'm like, bro, like, what is like me? Like, but I can say it was really humbling to see a lot of people that, I started real estate wholesaling back in 2019. And then I went to 2018 or 2018 is when I first started. First deal in 2019. I began full time in 2019. People in the companies I was applying to, a lot of them started in 2020, 2021, kind of during the pandemic and after the pandemic. They were list their revenue, 2 million, 3 million, 1.5 million, whatever. And I'm like, damn, like, I've been doing this for 5-6 years. Like, so it was a humbling experience. The one guys, they were like a little bit older than me. So like, it was humbling seeing all these people that's damn near my age and they're killing it in wholesaling. It was humbling. But it also, and like a very small bit of me at this time, small part. I'm just clocking how they doing their stuff. I'm asking all these questions. I'm clocking stuff like, yeah, okay. Like I said, it's a small part of me at this point. I'm like, yo, like, okay, this is what they did different. This is what I can do different if I was ever doing it myself. Very small part of me, because my main part of me wanted to be under a bigger company and to really learn stuff. So this whole time I'm looking into all these other guys and how they doing their stuff. I'm kind of just like I said, just checking it out. So with me checking it out, I pick up like, okay, the biggest theme. And I'm going to back up a little bit here before after this. But the biggest theme is that there was 2 of them. Every company that I applied to, bro, there was 2 of them. And that pissed me off. But also it made me get excited. Pissed me off because I was thinking about the past, made me excited for the future. it was a girlfriend and boyfriend for one of them, a husband and wife for another one, two best friends for one of them, and their girlfriend or significant other, I think, was helping them out. And then there was like two best friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband and wife. And then the last one I went on was there was two guys, but one guy was conducting a group interview, but there was two guys. I was pissed off, bro, because I'm like, damn, every scenario that I just named right there, I tried, like damn near, except for the wife one. I had the best friend that I tried to put on, that I tried to make that a thing with. I had the relationship thing where I tried to build something with. I had the which I think bro was like a cousin or something like that, because they had like the way they were talking and interacting, it seemed like they were like family members. But like I said, I had people that I tried to put on that were close to me, but it didn't work. So it pissed me off. How the freak did y'all make this work that I didn't? What's wrong with me? I'm done with all them, whatever. The other people doing their own route, they doing whatever they're doing at this point in life. What was wrong with me? That's what I was thinking. Damn, maybe they are right. Maybe I am just an old dog. Like maybe I'm just like, maybe this isn't. So there was a lot of self-doubt that I really had to like talk within myself with, only because it was like, yo, like, you know, I really put my best foot forward, and it's possible that it works. People are making family members work. People are making this work with relationships. People are making this work with close friends. You know, what happened? So all that being said, to rewind back, I ended up going on another interview with another company that was with wholesaling in Ohio and then wholesaling here in Florida. So with me wholesaling here in or checking the people that wholesaling here in Florida, I ended up getting to like the third round in the interview. On the third round in the interview, they ended up saying like, hey, it was like some like role plays kind of stuff. And then bro was like, I'll call you back if it works or whatever. We'll give you a call back like about a Friday or next Friday. I was like, all right, cool. But I actually got this deal under contract right now that I'm really trying to get sold. Like, you know what I'm saying? I brought it to them on some like, you know what I'm saying? They can see when I actually do wholesaling real estate. There's going to be a lot of people that come to them and say that they do it or done it. But at the same time, I actually do it. So, here's this deal. Can we get it sold? Can we work together before we ever work together? So make a long story short, excuse me, they never got back to me. I thought we really vibed, but I don't know. I'm just an optimistic person. I just picked up. I didn't just pick up on that, but I picked up on that throughout my life. Me being optimistic, I thought we vibed. I guess not. But like I said, this blessings in disguise. We ended up chatting. They put me on with their acquisitions and our dispositions team, and they ended up getting the deal sold, bro. So once the deal got sold, I'm like, at this point, keep in mind, actually, the deal was not sold. It was like a buyer coming, but I got to the point where I was so fed up with this job that I was at, working, and just like, I was fed up with everybody. I went on like another interview. They were just like, no, you don't think you're gonna work out. They were in like California, and just whatever. Then I had like another one after I quit the job. But long story short, in the midst of this deal being in pending, and I had like another deal that was pending. And from the standpoint of I just had it in a contract, no buyers lined up yet at all. Like no buyers lined up. I was like, I can't do this job anymore. Like it was a lot. It was from the standpoint of I felt like I got more to give with wholesaling real estate. I started really feeling like that after seeing like other companies and seeing how people kind of just was looking at me and treating me. I kind of felt like, bro, like, nah, like I ain't about to go out like this. I ain't going out like Willie Lump with wholesaling. And then, like I said, with the company itself, I already was doing the numbers and it didn't make sense. It was people spending time there and they're earning 70. And it's like, I know what it takes to earn 70K. To go back to, I know it might have sounded like a lot when I said like 35,000 over 6 months when I left. If you do multiply that by 2, that was, 70K. But that's not how wholesaling works. Like wholesaling, even in my, just to kind of go back to, even in my like prosperous years earning over 100K in wholesaling, it wasn't linear. It wasn't predictable. And I can say from working the job, that's the one thing I did. I liked it a little bit. Knowing that every 2 weeks or a week, I got money coming. I know it's coming. I know exactly how much is coming every 2 weeks. I liked it. And I see why people can get comfortable and just like get caught up in that. And my personal opinion is that if you're in your 20s, you don't have any kids, any attachments, then why not go for it all? You're not going to get rich by working for somebody else. And that's just like, maybe you can, but I mean, I'm not saying you possibly can't, but you got to figure out what's your meaning of rich, right? rich is money, of course, for me, but also rich is freedom. This is why I formed formed my real estate business the way I did when I moved to Scottsdale. I understood that I wanted the freedom for me to be able to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, from the standpoint of like not being tied down to a location. And I'm a homebody, so like I'm a natural homebody. Like you guys continue to grow throughout my life, and you know everything keep getting shared. You'll see like the more things I can do and just keep it at home, I'll do that. Like, I won't go to the city. I'll do it at home. Like I'm a homebody, whatever. That being said, though, peeping game, I'm just like, bro, I'm done with this. Like, nah. So I quit. And I was talking to one of my guys about it. He's like, bro, you about to quit today? Like, I was about to quit a couple times. To being transparent, I was waiting for those people to get back to me because I thought I had the job. The one where I saw, like, I vibe with the people, but I sent them over the contract. Like, I'm like, got a property. Like, they see I really do this. I thought I had the job. So I quit. I quit the job fully. I heard nothing back from those people regarding the job, but they've been in great communication regarding they about making their money. So, you know what I'm saying? I send them over a wholesale deal. Dispositions, they own it. 100. Salute to y'all if y'all tuned in. I wouldn't know how. I ain't gonna tell them if so, but salute to y'all. Like I said, it's all love at this point. Just let's keep getting these deals. Get the deal sold for me. That's it. Get the deal sold for me and we good. That's it. So just working with them, it's been really like a breeze because they got like a transaction coordinator, and like it's been allowing me to really just focus on the acquisition side of things, and like I'm completely fine with giving the disposition side of things to somebody else and then still being able to work on my own schedule. Because that's me being honest with myself. Like, even with these other companies, it was work from home, but it was like, I told one of them, like, yo, I'm not going to be able to do this job if you're expecting me to be at my desk for 8 hours a day. I'm not going to be at my desk for 8 hours a day while I'm at home. That's not happening. Because that's just not who I am. Like, I like to work out. I like to take walks. I love nature. I like, you know what I'm saying, kicking it with some people during the midday. It's good timing, you know what I'm saying? I like being free. So to me, being in one place in one area, that expectation just wasn't going to happen. So I think like I felt like the people that I'm working with right now, I think they kind of like probably just knew that or picked up on that. Like I said, shout out to them. It is what it is. No hard feelings. But you guys definitely taught me a lot just regarding like, you know, like just get to stepping from the standpoint of like, just do it on your own, from the standpoint of do it first and then expect whatever happens to follow. Have faith that what your plan will follow. So that's what I did. I quit that job. I thought they were going to call me back that same week and be like, all right, let's start next Wednesday. It didn't happen. They didn't do that. So I ended up got back on the phone with wholesaling, bro. And then they ended up getting that property sold for me, which was amazing. I ended up taking a few interviews because they ended up calling me back, but I stopped submitting interviews. It was like 2 weeks or probably like a week or a few days after I quit that job. I was putting interviews in like a few days. One of them that got back to me was, like I said, California. Then there was another one. They were like land people, but excuse me. I told them that I just quit my job. Excuse me. I said I just quit my job, close the deal. I'm just back in wholesale and real estate. Like, you know, I really don't need it. But I just took the interview or whatever. And I hope it went to, they were like, who would you hire besides yourself? It was a group interview. I never did a group interview before. And I told him like this one guy, he had like kids. He was like a lead. He was a lead manager at like a wholesaling company in like Dallas or something like that. And he had kids. He had a wife. He was, I'm hungry, XYZ. And, you know, me, I got the experience of actually doing real estate from a bird's eye view. So, bro, I'm like, hire him. He's a lead manager. He probably is going to be more hungry. Like, I literally told him to hire bro. I really hope they hired him. And then somebody else said hire me. But that being said, at that point of it, I just was like, nah, like, I really want to do this by myself again from the standpoint of building up a company. So, I know we just talked in circles, guys. This is Get to Steppin with S2 podcast, the official podcast, yo. I'm really excited about what's to come on this podcast. These first 2 episodes had to get out just to catch y'all up. This is not what the podcast is going to be about. Please tune in live to the Get to Steppin with S2 podcast. We are live morning show. We're a live morning show. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be live in the morning, during the week, and on weekends. We'll get all the logistics and everything else put down as far as what the specifics are. But Get to Steppin with S2 live morning show. Tune in with us during the week, man. And you're going to see what this episode and what this show really entails. And I'm really excited because it's the natural next step on the journey is what I'll say. And also the natural next step regarding the content strategy change, which I told you guys, just peeping over the team, you can see it. I want to leave you guys off with this, but throughout this whole time of me being an entrepreneur, me being back in the workforce, I would say the biggest thing is be humble. Humble yourself. You're not above anything. You're not above anybody. When I say anything, I mean the work. When I say anybody, I mean the people, your clients, who you're working with, your clients. When I say your clients, I mean, whoever you're looking to provide service to. You really become successful when you provide a service, and you got to find a way to build a team. And I'm talking to myself too, bro. I remember on the first episode, I'm ending with this. So on the first episode, I talked to you guys and I said, like, I need a team. I was like rewatching that and rethinking about it. Like, I know they can come off too, but I don't need per se. Like, I'm not like out here thirsty. Like, I need, like, why you ain't helping me? I need. Not like that. It's like, you got to know the rules to the game that you playing, bro. And this game, wholesale and real estate, the more people that you have on hand to call, the more numbers you have, the more odds from the standpoint of more properties you get. Now, where I messed up at is I tried to hire people from the standpoint of people close to me, friends, family, whatever. Very slow on doing that again. But I'll do this next time because everything is rejuvenated. I've rejuvenated my focus with wholesale and real estate. I'm back in my bag from the standpoint of really like locked in on this because it's feeling good again. It's feeling good again. That's what I'll say. I'm building a team for United Properties USA. United Steppers, United Properties. In a couple of weeks here, we're going to be conducting interviews. Our first job that we're looking for is an acquisitions manager, boots on the ground. Acquisitions manager, remote role, but you have to be in the Cincinnati area because you will be also our boots on the ground in Cincinnati, but you'll also be our acquisitions manager, right? The specifics will be worked out. If you know somebody who sounds good for that role, connect with us on LinkedIn at Steps to Success. S to the Heart. That's my personal one. We are Steps to Success on LinkedIn as well if you want to keep up with some stuff. But also United Properties USA. Follow that page on LinkedIn. United Properties USA. This is the evolution of the actual real estate side of things. This is completely different because I never brought the real estate side of things to the forefront. It's like I did it a little bit and Get to Step with That2 podcast, but now I'm doing it even more because we're really building a team out here. So the first hire in United Properties USA is an acquisitions manager, and they have to be local to the Cincinnati, Ohio area. We are doing deals in Dayton and Cincinnati and Tampa, Florida. Primarily right now, it's still that Cincinnati market and occasionally Dayton, but mainly Cincinnati. So this first person has to be local to Cincinnati. Things will progress, but you have to be local to Cincinnati. And we'll get into specifics of everything. So like I said, we're going to be putting that out. The job posting will be posted here in the next couple of weeks. We'll be conducting interviews and all that. Looking to have our first hire ideally before the end of this year. Ideally sometime in October for real. But just like I said, stay up to date on that. Stay posted on that. Everything else, Get to Step with S2 Morning Show is coming at you guys live. It will be live on YouTube. Also, Spotify, Apple, and wherever else you get your podcast, you'll be able to access the show. Spotify, we will have the video portion of it up. I'll keep playing with that because at the end of the day, we're building Steps to Success YouTube channel. Everything else, guys, I really got nothing else to say, man. Only thing I really got to say is just keep going. Keep going. Even when you don't know what that next step is, keep going. The universe will meet you halfway. You got to get to stepping. That would have been a perfect place to end it, but I feel like talking more.